This conference will now be recorded.
Now it's being recorded, so you better tell us you had a good trip.
Yes, it was a very, very extraordinary trip. It was a lot of experiences.
Awesome, great. All right, shall we start? All right, I'm calling the work session meeting to order at 6:11 p.m. So moved. All in favor? Okay, we got a kind of a short list. Tree trimming. Ray and Jeremy broke up the village, went through it, came up with a list, and it has been handed off to the clerks. We have some that we're waiting on PSEG to see what they're going to do. We have some at the preserve that need to be cut back, so we may have to go to Nat Grid for that. And then we have some in the village, some village trees that will also need to be cut. Not that many. Most of it is under PSEG and Nat Grid, but once they answer and do whatever they're going to do, we will move on to the village. What's left for us to do. So that's the tree trimming list. The New York class investment of snow removal reserve. That is, we discussed this at the last meeting. It was 55,000 that we were considering moving into the New York class investment. So, and it will be parked there, earning better interest, and we will be able to take it back, any amount of it, whenever we want with no penalty. But we probably won't need it until the snow comes, and hopefully we won't need it then either. So that we have a resolution for. You guys will have the newsletter. So this is an initial draft talking about the traffic calming, some resident donations, some new resident reminders, fundraising, updates from Village Hall. Thank you to some residents for the cleanup and the recipe from Eddie Schmidt. So if everybody wants to read through it and get me back a hard copy changes marked up. I've also asked Chris to help us because he helped us with the PCA stuff and he's an excellent proofreader. So it's here. There's a couple of photos missing. They're coming and we'll take it from there. And hopefully we'll be able to get this out. I'd like to get it out in June. So if everybody could get me their edits by the end of next week so that I can make arrangements to finalize it and print it, that would be awesome. Okay, then we've got mulch cost. Jess?
Okay, so we got 3 quotes. The first one is for $1,700, and this is for mulching for Food Park around Village Hall. The first one is $1,700 from Transforming Solutions, who is our current landscapers. Then we received a quote for $2,499 from Allstate Landscape Designs. And then we also received a quote for $1,800 from East End Trees.
So our current slow is good.
$1,700 with our current landscaper.
Okay. I guess huh?
Mulch.
All right, so I guess we'll approve that if everybody's on board.
Tina, I've lost I'm not hearing anything. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Okay. Hey, Ron, you still there?
Well, I'm back on. Couldn't get anything before.
Yeah, because on my computer crashed for some reason, but it's.
Oh,
it's-
okay.
This
hold on.
conference will now be recorded.
All right, so I guess it went blank, but all right, we're back on. Okay, so
Sure.
getting back to the mulch costs, we're gonna go with Transforming Solutions for 1,700. Okay, sexual harassment policy, Darlene? Huh?
I sent it to you this afternoon, but wait. Go ahead, change it.
All right, let's print it out. Okay,
I read, is it in color?
I can do it.
Must have somebody wrote a notice.
No, it's just
Random-
easier to
a
see the
random-
addition.
No, I'm saying a random text of, hey, I sent you your sexual
Oh.
harassment policy edits.
did you get a copy of the newsletter? You got one.
Keep going.
Well, we're up to open items for the board to review from the village attorney. We could circle back to sexual harassment. Joe?
So I just have a few things to go over. One is the letter went out.
Do you want
I
to wait
believe
for
it-
her so she can take, I'm sorry, do we need Jess here so she can take minutes?
Well, she
Oh,
can
the
pull,
recording,
she
I'm
can
sorry.
pull off of the
Yeah,
recording.
I'm sorry.
So go
Okay.
ahead.
Sorry.
There was a resident letter that we talked about the last meeting. I finalized it, and I believe it went out. The village was sending it out directly to me. The next thing is that the town has, the fire department in the town have been bothering us about working out the arrangement for a fire marshal, using the town's fire marshal. We did have the county fire marshal indicated that they were going to send us an IMA also. We haven't received that yet, though. So I believe at the next meeting, sometime in the next week or so, I would like to circulate an IMA agreement with the, proposed agreement with the town for fire marshal services, and then maybe have it on the next month.
Okay.
And,
What does it involve, like having an IMA with the fire department? Is there anything?
so basically, and this was the question that we had originally. So basically, when the fire department feels it's necessary or appropriate to,
Jess, I'm gonna have to send it, sorry,
I
one
just sent
sec,
it. I just sent it.
to Jess, okay. Sorry, go ahead,
that's
Joe.
right, when the fire department feels it's appropriate to call in the fire marshal, then usually that's when there's a fire investigation or something illegal is going on, like an apartment. They find that they go in because the CO detector goes off, they find an apartment, things like that. Normally, that's what the fire marshal would be called for. But they would call, the fire chief would call the fire marshal, the town fire marshal. The town fire marshal would show up, and then we would get charged at least a minimum rate. And it's not like a small amount of money. It's significant money. It might be like $500 or $600 for working that out.
What's our current protocol for the village?
The current protocol is we don't have an IMA we don't have an agreement with either the town or the county. So therefore, the county is default.
Okay.
By default, it's the county. So if we had, if one of the public safety people or the fire department came in and decided that they really wanted a fire marshal here, they would call Suffolk County. Which is fine. I mean, they respond. They have people on call all the time.
And that's free?
Right now, that would be free.
Okay. And why do they want to, do they have IMAs with all the other villages in the 3-village area and we're the only ones they don't? Or are we a new IMA?
I believe they have one with Oldfield, because Oldfield doesn't have its own fire marshal either.
Okay.
But the Fort Jefferson has its own fire marshal, I believe. The underlying issue is that we don't have our own fire marshal. If we found somebody who was qualified, then we could have a fire marshal and then our own, and we wouldn't have to worry about this.
Okay. Any
It was,
thoughts?
I almost became qualified in October, but I couldn't get my stuff together before the test. I had to produce paperwork and stuff from my past to take the test, and I wasn't able to get it together in time.
Should we wait for you?
No.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions on this? Because I don't know. I personally don't have any experience or knowledge on the whole IMA for fire marshals. Does anyone else have thoughts or questions? It sounds like we don't have a choice, right?
Yeah, unless we contact Fort Jefferson and ask them if we could.
Share their
we could
fire
do our
marshal.
IMA with them.
What are the requirements for a fire marshal? Do we have anybody in the village? Would we put out like a request to anybody in the village to see if they were qualified?
You could do that. So you have to be, you have to have like 5 years as an interior firefighter,
Okay.
and then you have to take a civil service test and pass it.
Nobody on code currently has.
Well, if somebody actually, there might be one person. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Would that be an option?
So but we're only paying the money when there's an incident, or are we paying the money like monthly? Is it like?
No, we're only paying the money when there's an incident.
I mean, my inclination is.
We didn't start the meeting yet, right?
Oh yeah, we're on.
Oh, well.
My inclination is that, I mean, Setauket is our fire department, and if it's an incident at a time, I don't. If it was like a monthly fee that we had to pay, I would consider pursuing other options. I'm not sure about having a resident as our fire marshal. I don't know about that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah.
I mean, how often? I guess.
I mean, we've
I would
had
think
one
about, like-
incident. We've had. I think we've had 2 fire marshal incidents in the last like 5 years, right? At the
Yeah,
same
something like
house.
1 or 2 years,
Yeah.
one a year probably. The problem is that, once it gets set up, then they could be called, they could be called. So,
What do you mean?
once it gets set up, they're looking to do it too, because they get paid. Whoever it is that comes gets paid to show up, so it's,
Right, but do they then have more jurisdiction to just come and, no, it's
No.
when we call them, right? Dave, did you want to say something?
We had an incident down a couple years ago. We had debris that was on fire down the road that was deliberately lit on fire. And we had town of Brookhaven came to the chief, fire department came in here, and then the old fire marshal was Brookhaven County showed up. And also PD came in with dogs trying to track, pick up the track and clear the fire. So we don't use them all the time, but they were here. I don't know what kind of agreement we had, but Brookhaven County was here.
Do we have we have an IMA with Brookhaven now, but fire
no, we don't have
marshals,
anything, no.
not currently.
We are legally, our fire marshal right now is Suffolk County.
So I know there've been a couple times where residents have contacted the fire department because of a gas odor in the village, and they send that would be a similar occurrence, right? Would that be a fire marshal instance? I guess
No, so only that would be, that's at the it's always at the discretion of the chief. And that would not necessarily be, unless it was due to like an illegal alteration or
Okay.
something like that.
Okay, so the fire marshal is only contacted regarding a violation of code?
Yes,
Okay.
or, violation of code, or investigation.
Investigation or violation of code?
The chief could also hold the scene off if they want to have the house.
Yeah.
Hold the scene, fire department hold the scene, fire marshal comes and then we can say this house is not vacant.
Okay.
Habitation and then have what we think the question.
Okay.
So, I mean, what do you recommend? That we do it?
Yeah, we do an IMA with somebody, so at least we know someone's gonna show up, and then we'll see if, we'll get the Brookhaven one here for you to consider, and then if I can, I'll try to get one from Suffolk County.
I think we should review all of them. I mean, if we need to have a fire marshal, we should have a fire marshal. I think my opinion is, and I'm not opposed to Setauket. I mean, I'd love for Setauket to actually do it, but I think we should look at all of the parameters and what makes sense. Does that make sense that we review everyone we can have an IMA before we sign one? Thoughts?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Sounds like you got two, and so you said then there's also, so when you said you didn't want a resident, I mean, you just said we might have somebody within code who could also do it. Is that an option, or you want like somebody from currently at a fire department? Like who's a current fire marshal, not somebody from code?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'd have to know more about it. I don't know enough about it to make that determination. I mean,
Okay.
do we, rather than just say yes to Setauket, I think if we have to do this and we have the possibility of having 3 different resources to be the fire marshal, we should probably,
Vet the 3.
what?
Vet the 3 and see if they work. What works with our
Just
village.
whatever, and
do a
if it's
little
all,
homework.
but I think that if it's all apples to apples, I would definitely go with Setauket. That would be, I think we should find out, and then I think that, I mean, Setauket's our fire department, and they're here, and they do a lot of, a lot of services in the village. So my opinion is I'd like to give back to them. If I mean, it's not really giving back because they'd be providing a service, but if they're interested in it and there's no differences, I would go with Setauket. But I think
It's Brookhaven, it's not Setauket. Setauket's gonna come. Setauket's a fire department.
so. Who is the one that wants the IMA? Brookhaven.
Brookhaven. And that
Okay.
has nothing to do with Setauket.
Oh,
Except that one of the 2 guys that's gonna show up happen to also be Setauket fire. And
oh, well, that's
firefighters.
a little bit different because it's either Brookhaven or Suffolk County, right?
Yeah.
then I would do, then I don't know that we have to do it. I think I would just go with Brookhaven. Because Brookhaven, I mean, that's the township we're in, Suffolk County, right?
Yeah, Suffolk County has, they haven't responded. I've asked the right person a couple of times, and you keep saying this would do, and they haven't responded. So,
All right, so, I guess you need to find out what we have to come up, they have to propose a contract to us, and then we have to sign it, right?
yes.
So what do you guys think, based on this information?
I mean, it sounds like that's so for Brookhaven, you're saying you're reaching out to see if the fire marshal currently handling Fort Jeff
That's another possibility.
is that one of the options from but that would fall in the Brookhaven banner, right?
No, that would be our own fire marshal. We would share the person where they would.
Oh, because they're not, they're also incorporated in the.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Yep. Okay.
All right. All right, so I
So
guess,
this is actually the original one, so I can just walk you through the change and then send it to you.
Yeah, or do you want to send it to me?
It says I can't send it to you. It says it has to be an image.
this is the original one, not the one that's edited. Okay, so,
I don't know why. That
It does have to get reapproved at the board meeting. 2 weeks table.
yeah, so then let's do it. Yep.
So, first paragraph is fine. Under the first paragraph before it says what is sexual harassment, we have to define a workplace. So the workplace is defined as a location where someone works, completes projects, performs tasks for their employer. Such a place can range from a home, a virtual office, to a large office building or factory. Under what is sexual harassment, number 3 was added, which specifically states that the standard for harassment does not require severe or pervasive conduct. That was a requirement. Page 2. The first paragraph says the victim can be of the same sex as the harasser. It is unlawful to subject an employee to workplace harassment that creates a hostile work environment based on sexual orientation or gender identification, including cisgender, transgender, and non-binary persons.
So is this a new first paragraph, or is this,
It's an adjective.
okay, so where would that go? In the village?
It goes after
Right
the
here.
second sentence, yeah. The victim can be the same sex as the harasser, then that, and then
Oh, okay,
the last sentence can stay the same.
okay, got it.
Under the village responsibilities under this policy, second paragraph, the end of the second paragraph, which says, and employees have up to 3 years to report allegations of sexual harassment to New York State Human Rights Division.
That goes where?
At the end of the second paragraph.
In the employee's rights?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Third paragraph, supervisors and other responsible village officials and bystanders who observe or informed of, and the rest of the paragraph stays the
Okay,
We're still
Yeah,
under
yeah,
village
yeah,
responsibilities. Like,
wait,
she's still talking village. You're under village, right? Village
Mhm.
responsibilities, right? Okay.
oh, wait,
I
I
think you
jumped, I
jumped
went
to
to
the paragraph
employees'
page,
rights.
yes.
So where does, go back to
The
the
first one
previous.
goes here.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
Where's the next one go?
same. Third paragraph.
Under-
Supervisors,
Okay, supervisors, go ahead. Can you read that again?
yeah, supervisors, other responsible village officials and bystanders.
Got it.
Okay, the rest of the paragraph stays the same. Fourth paragraph, I included examples of retaliation. can be, but are not limited to, demotion, denied opportunity, salary reductions, or loss of hours.
Okay.
Okay, now under next page, it says mediation grievances, EEO processes. I added a section that says sexual harassment hotline. All employees have a right to call the New York State DHR sexual harassment hotline at 1-800-HARASS. So we had to add that in.
No, another bullet.
That's another
Do
bullet.
we
Yeah.
have civil service?
Civil servants who are not covered by a negotiated grievance procedure can bring grievances under EEO matters. Civil service employees who are covered by a well, they are civil service.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all are.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Okay, what
Those are
about
the additions that were.
the other? They also asked for definitions, adding definitions for various gender identities.
I would put that in up top where it said,
Can be a man or woman, but I think
Yeah.
it's the same sex. Yeah.
it's not that it can be a man or a woman. Because it can be the
Does
same
that
sex.
work, Joe, as far as adding it, or do they want actual definitions like we do in the laws?
On page
We're on page
First
one.
paragraph. This is a victim of sexual harassment can be a man or woman.
I think that's the two genders. Right? You're either a man or a woman, or you're transitioning to be a man or a woman.
So the
There's only
key,
two genders.
I just want, here, let me just show you the key amendments, Joe, because maybe you could just guide us. I have it here on my phone. These were the key amendments that brought us to this whole.
Unless we have to add in,
Those are the key amendments that they wanted us to.
Who's that?
New York State.
You consider the insurance.
They-
Insurance company?
Yeah,
Is that your phone? Did they say anything about sexual harassment training once a year?
Yes. it's in that email too. I don't know if we put it in here.
You take it in as well.
Oh, you do? Mm-hmm.
So I guess that needs to be added too, right?
I mean, employees don't have to do it, right?
really close to that.
Yeah.
I think so.
So is that in this policy right now as it
Because
stands?
there was never anything about that what was required of them. And you could add in a sentence about animal training.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know if you guys did animal training, so I didn't add that. And that wasn't, you didn't have that on the list.
And on the policy.
This first paragraph on like doesn't look normal to me. So the two comments I have is I don't know that it's supposed to say now. And the second thing is that it says a non-employee, but I think it says a non-employee, but a non-employee who has a business relationship with the village. So we're technically supposed to give a copy of this to all of our contractors. But I think it's also supposed to include a non-employee who's just not a non-employee, who is just not an employee. And that's somebody who.
Like if a resident came in and.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's,
Okay, so wait,
I
you
think
wanna
so.
add?
What?
You wanna add contractor?
I mean, I would give this to, I wouldn't, the other relationships that I have, I would give this to the legal counsel. No, I wouldn't. To look over. But I mean, I guess the insurance company also, but although I normally don't do that, I normally give it to the legal counsel. Or have them produce it, I'm sorry.
well, this is the policy that we had in place,
Yeah.
what we're looking at right
So
now.
it came from one of those relationships.
It came, this is what we had,
First of all, this exact policy exists on, New York State wrote it, this exact policy.
That's a state policy. Okay.
Word for word.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, so that's okay.
So, yeah, and then I just added in today the, the requirements that were sent that you had to add.
Okay.
Right.
This literally, I found it today.
And I think you're fine. And I wouldn't
Someone
change
took it
that
off.
paragraph. I would not change that paragraph about
Yeah.
non-employees. And
Where it says define though, do we need to define it further, or are they just asking us to include? Like, do we have to define what those?
I wouldn't do that.
No. Okay. All right. So, I mean, I'm fine with all the changes that you made, Darlene.
Okay, you want me to put something in there about annual training, and I can send it out tomorrow morning?
I mean, I think that we're obligated to do annual training, aren't we?
Yeah, I don't know that. We could add that in the policy later if you want. We could add it tonight. We could include we could adopt the policy with that change, that it's going to reference that and figure out where it's going to be,
Okay.
and just type it in tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Especially for the insurance company, I think they'd want to see that.
All right. So we can go through that. All right. So
I'll add that in and send it to you.
yeah, just all right. So
Normally, the insurance company has it. The insurance company provides it. The update of the training.
the training.
Yeah, and the way it works mostly is there's a primary training that you take once, and then after that you take the updates. So, but I would ask the insurance company what they have. 'Cause
Okay.
They all have it. Who's our insurance company? Who is our insurance company?
Salerno.
That the company must be NYSEF?
NICEF is one of them, right?
Yeah, we'll go have it.
Yeah.
If they don't have it, the payroll company should have
Okay. All right. So we'll approve that with the changes that you just went over.
And I would approve it with all employees have 30 days to take a training. The
Okay.
board will provide a training to all employees within 45 days.
Now, does that include outside contractors? So somebody comes to do our landscaping?
No,
No.
they just get a copy of the policy.
Got it. Okay. So it's only employees, and so now does that apply to every board member,
Yes,
even the planning board, the ZBA, everyone?
it should.
What about commissioners?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's something that we're going to have to instate going forward with our org meeting.
it. Okay, so employees,
Board members
board members, commissioners,
and village officials. I think you could just say,
the village officials, that covers everything.
I think that does cover everything, right?
But there should be like training online that people can take.
Yeah, I take it online
Accredited-
every year.
accredited
Work.
companies.
So
I
can-
think it's your work.
Yeah, take it to work.
I think it's through the fire department.
It's
And
online.
you just click.
Do you
things
have-
And you get
do
a
you-
little certificate.
Do you have the link to it?
I do.
Can we utilize that? Can we
and
do
I
that?
think,
No?
It's up to our insurance company, but I don't think that they would look to it.
I think it's password based, so based on, like, you have to have a name, a username, which is my username, which is how I get into payroll,
Okay.
right?
So I got it. So
I'm
we
sure
have to,
there are
we'll have to see, we'll have to have,
online.
we'll get the policy approved today, and then we'll find out from our insurance what next steps are. All right? Yeah? All right, well, that concludes our work session. Calling the work session, adjourning the work session at 6:46 PM. So moved. All in favor? All right. Anyone need a break, or shall we move on? Let's move on. Calling the Board of Trustees business meeting to order June 13th, 2024 at 6:46 PM. So moved. All in favor? All right. Announcements. The 2024 village election will take place on Tuesday, June 18th. Nominated candidates are as follows. 1 2-year mayor position, Tina Chiappi, that's me. 2 2-year trustee positions, Darlene Merciaca and Chris Sokol. 1 1-year trustee position, Ray Graham. Residents unable to vote in person may apply for an absentee ballot at Village Hall. The annual Poquak Community Association Barbecue and Cardboard Regatta will take place on August 10th at 2 p.m. Those are the official announcements. I have another unofficial announcement. Today is Jacqueline Taylor's last day as a trustee. I have worked with her. She started a month behind me, and Jacqueline, you have been the voice of reason on this board for how many years? 5 years. You have been fair-minded and diligent. You have done an amazing job, and we're going to miss you a ton, me especially. You've been awesome, and you're welcome to come back and sit into any of our sessions and continue to be our voice of reason from the audience. And any time. Thank you very much for your service.
Someone's gonna have big shoes to fill.
Yeah, someone's gonna have big shoes. All right, reports, public safety. Got anything for me, Dave? Come on, Dave.
Public safety report for May 9th, June 11th. House checks requested was 2, direct patrols there was 7, incident reports there was 17, 3 noise complaints, 2 property maintenance, 2 rental, 2 zoning traffic, 2 traffic parking rather, 1 MPA with property damage, 1 suspicious incident, 1 80 keys, 1 criminal mischief, and 1 full discharge, 1 construction without permit, 1 suspicious person, 1 disorderly conduct.
What's rental? Is that like not having permits or something? Or
It's a rental inspection they did.
rental inspection?
So you guys, this isn't this month?
Yeah, we decided to break down instead of just giving you numbers and break down. We actually do start.
That's a pretty awesome, busy month you guys had. I guess you always have a pretty busy month, but we just, yeah, no, you definitely should. That's awesome.
Parking violations addressed 24. Quality of life warnings 2. Special event permits there was 12. Stormwater violations there was 1. That was the one we wanted. Field appearance tickets 2. Well, actually, both of them were reference to that. And the building zoning environmental inspection, we had 1 rental inspection and 1 building violations inspection.
All right. Well, thanks. I like these more detailed ones because I think it's good for the village to know all that you guys do. 'Cause you do a lot. Thank you very much. That's awesome. All right. Treasurer's report, Ron?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. As I emailed in my executive summary, and you've seen from the budget actuals, we are in good shape going into the audit, and I don't anticipate that audit journal entries are going to substantially change the fact that we have about a $25,000 surplus. It's entirely due to the snow shortfall of expenditures. So and I think that both the auditors and the board seems to be of the opinion, and I don't disagree, it's just a matter of a judgment call, that the monies that we have budgeted for snow and are not used, which is about $28,000, will be allowed to flow into the regular unassigned, unrestricted reserve fund to the extent that they're not used up by other expenditure amounts that are high. So that will result in this year being, there will be an increase in the unrestricted, unassigned, let me see the exact title of it, unassigned, unrestricted. unrestricted, unassigned. Which has a balance now of 132,000, a little more than that. So at the end of the year this year, we will end up more like 150,000 in that reserve account, and that there will obviously there'll be the 55,000 in snow. Now there are expenditures we had anticipated doing in 23, 24 that have been delayed. The drainage and some of the other items that you're more familiar with than I am. But the fact that, and some of those have not been put into the 2024-25 budget, but we will be able to handle those based on, easily based on the very high amount in this reserve account. So in any case, the short story is we're in good shape. We'll know the exact numbers better by the time the order is finished, but it's not going to be any really a negative outcome to this year.
All right, that's great. Hey, Ron, I have a question for you. I know that we're going to be doing this New York class investment with the snow reserve, and that is sort of, we always keep that on its own, kind of in its own little bucket. But do you think it would be advantageous of us for us to take some of that unrestricted reserve and put that in another New York class account, like something that yields us more interest until we need it or while we're not using it? Would that be something we should look into?
Yes, it certainly could be done. And coming up, I mean, it depends on, I wouldn't be trying to maximize that in the event, but I would say easily another 50,000 could be handled that way.
Okay, great.
And we can come up with a tighter number by talking about what's coming up and what we're planning on doing in the way of, okay?
All right, so maybe we should, I think we can kind of look and see what our forecast is with the couple of projects that rolled over, and maybe we'll discuss that, in the next month, and then, come June, July, August, we can consider setting up another account. We could do the snow reserve one, unless anybody has any objection to that. I think that might be, if it's there and we can get more of a yield, let's just do another one. I mean, it has no penalty. There's no issues, right? Yeah. So maybe we'll talk about that at the next meeting and see what we want to allocate into that. I don't think it has to be like Ron said, not the whole thing, obviously, but even if we were to break off 50,000 and put it in there, just for the immediate time that we're not using it and don't need it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good idea.
We'll put that on for.
What's the the withdrawal period is for that, or the retransfer? How if there's an emergency,
quick.
We can quickly access.
It's like
We do it every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
From the same type of.
No, like you have a money market account.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just didn't know.
No, the New York class is instant too. Yeah, it's
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there's the.
I'm just thinking because
standard.
they're planning for expecting a heavy storm season.
Stop.
I'm just saying.
Don't bring up
Put it
heavy
out there.
storm
I'll put
season.
it out there.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't jinx us. All right, great, Ron. Thank you very much. Court
Okay,
report.
thank you. I'm gonna sign out.
Okay, thanks for
Bye, Ron.
joining
Ron.
us. Bye.
See you next month.
I didn't get a court report from Leslie for April. I did get a copy of the check that was deposited as money coming in, but it was for April audit. But they did have court in April?
They had it in
May.
No, April.
No, May. They had court in May. So I have to get in touch with her anyway because I need to do a full court audit from where I left off the last time. So I have to meet with Frank and I have to make an appointment to meet with Leslie and Murray. So I want June to go by because that'll be my last thing. And then I'll meet with her in July if she's free and present it in August or something.
Hey, Joe, that's okay, right? That if Jacqueline's no longer on the board, that she does her final reconcile with the court
Yes,
after the fact?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so that's awesome, Jacqueline, thank you. Public hearings, we have none. Public comments, anyone? No public comments, and we are off. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to do the pledge.
Jacqueline should lead us.
Yes, Jacqueline should lead us.
To
the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, kind of stuck that in.
Good catch.
We got it in.
Good catch.
All right, resolutions. You guys ready?
So,
Resolution 06-2024-03, resolution adopting June 13th, 2024 agenda as printed. So moved.
second.
All in favor?
Resolution 06-2024-04, resolution accepting the monthly reports from June 13th, 2024. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Resolution number 06-2024-05, resolution adopting the minutes from the May 9th, 2024 work session of the Board of Trustees meeting. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 06-2024-06, resolution adopting the minutes from the May 9th, 2024 business session of the Board of Trustees meeting. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 06-2024-07, resolution adopting the minutes from the May 15th, 2024 special meeting of the Board of Trustees. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 06-2024-08, resolution adopting the minutes from the June 6, 2024 special meeting of the Board of Trustees. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Resolution 06-2024-09, resolution to schedule the Village of Hopewell Board of Trustees organization meeting beginning at 6 p.m. on July 1st, 2024, with the work and with the business meetings to follow immediately. So moved.
All in favor?
Resolution 06-2024-10, resolution to approve 2024 Village of Code of Ethics policy to replace any previous code of ethics policy. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 06-2024-11, resolution to approve 2024 Village of Hopewell sexual harassment to replace any previous sexual harassment policy. So moved.
Don't you have
Okay, yeah,
to?
you're right.
Yeah.
We could change something.
Do you want
The
to?
annual.
Well, do we have to say that because we're just rewriting the whole thing? We have to say it?
Say as amended at the
Okay, so resolution to approve 2024 Village of Hopewell sexual harassment policy as amended at the June 13th work session to replace any previous sexual harassment policy. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on. Who's next?
One.
Yeah, doing the next one. I stole that from you.
Resolution number 06-2024-12, resolution to approve the investment of $55,000 from GL Code A0916, appropriated fund balance, unrestricted, assigned snow into a New York Cooperative Liquid Asset Security System account, and authorizing the mayor to establish the account. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 06-2024-13, resolution to approve salary increase for code enforcement officers from $20 to $21 an hour, effective June 1st, 2024. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, my turn. Resolution 06-2024-14, resolution to approve salary increase for Chief Code Enforcement Officer Frank Schaefer from 28 to 29 an hour, effective June 1st, 2024. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Resolution 06-2024-15, resolution to approve salary increase for village clerk Jessica Battani from 25 an hour to 27 an hour, effective June 1st, 2024. So moved.
All in favor?
Resolution 06-2024-16, resolution to approve salary increase for village deputy clerk Kim Thayer from $22 an hour to $23 an hour, effective June 1st, 2024. So moved.
All in favor?
Resolution number 06-2024-17, resolution to approve salary increase for village building clerk Cindy Schleider from $22 an hour to $23 an hour, effective June 1st, 2024. So moved.
All in favor? Resolution 06-2024-18, resolution to approve estimate from Transforming Solutions for mulch for the trustees park in the amount of $1,700. So moved. All in favor? All right. We're ready.
All right.
Next
I'm
up.
ready now.
Next up.
Next.
Next up.
Okay, first up's gonna be the Home Depot bill, in the amount of $112.90. Next, we have the FNBO credit card, and the total is $670.02. Next, we have Axe Creatives in the amount of $112.50, Brothers Police Store in the amount of $150, Newsday in the amount of $1,232, Optimum in the amount of $135.07, House Cleaning Service in the amount of $720, Sweet Tea Fuel Co. in the amount of $982.62, Wex Bank in the amount of $181.10, and Winter Brothers Long Island for $10,788.00, for a total of $14,301.29. We have Call Ahead Club for $45, Call Ahead again for $45, Canon Financial Services in the amount of $224, Paul Edelson in the amount of $250, PSEG in the amount of $361.94, PSEG in the amount of $40.70, Suffolk County Village Officials Association in the amount of $75, Transforming Solutions Corporation in the amount of $1,644.45, and Verizon Wireless for $165 for a total of $2,741. We have Jessica Botani for petty cash in the amount of $78.40. Brookgust Cleaning in the amount of $320. GMA Mechanical Corp in the amount of $994.80. Small Business Management and Solutions in the amount of $542.56. And Transforming Solutions Corporation in the amount of $1,644.45. For a total of $3,580.21. Elon City in the amount of $3,800. Axe Creatives in the amount of $112.50. Construction Technologies in the amount of $195.15. Murphy's Marine Service in the amount of $1,000. NICEF in the amount of $6,416.70. Optimum in the amount of $135.07. Printers 3 in the amount of $250. Joseph Prokop in the amount of $1,750. PSEG Long Island in the amount of $389.69. And PSEG again in the amount of $14.13 for a total of $10,263.24.
Do the last resolution.
Yep, Jack. Come on, do the last one.
All right.
Do it like in like I don't know, do like in like 6 different voices. Do something interesting, like a tap dance or something.
Resolution of 6/20/24/19. A resolution of the gotcha report.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Nice, thank you.
Close this up, Doc. Close this up, Captain.
Oh, motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:06 p.m. So moved. All in favor? Woo! Quick, finally a quick one.
Cut on